Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. Are you already back at work, or you are still enjoying the holidays? You can tell us in the comment section. The following confession that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a message that I received, and it reads like this. So I was pressured to go to Nigeria because this was what we were supposed to do as a church. I'm sorry, I can't tell you the name of the church because I'm scared that I can even end up getting sued. I was even shocked that in church we have these lawyers. These lawyers, they only wait for someone to talk bad about our church, then they can sue you because they will say that you are talking about things that you don't even know. That is how much they are willing to protect the evil things that they do. But I'll give you just some clues so that people can understand that when these things are being done in church, know that it is not real. It is not a real church of God, but the people that are there, they are only there to get as much money as they can from you, as much as they can make each and every Sunday. If you feel that you are being pressured to always give money to church, and if you see that your money is not increasing, just like what the pastors will be promising you, yes, you can give a blessing unto God, and God can return back the favor and bless you even more. If you are in such a church whereby you started going to that church and you were poor and you started giving money to the Lord, then you started to achieve a lot in your life, then you need to know that the church that you are attending, there is God in that church. But if all that you give is to give and you get nothing back from the church, then know that you are in a church that is all about business. They really do not care about you as an individual, if you are going to be successful or not. So those are some of the clues that I can give to you. I am a South African pastor. I have been preaching for more than a decade. I have laid hands on the sick, and I have led prayer services, and I have officiated funerals, counseled broken families. I am a man of God. There is a season in my life that I have never spoken about to this day, and I wish to help a lot of people out there that might be thinking that I am in the true church of God. My brother or my sister, you might think that you are following the Lord with all of your heart, but you might be someone that is worshiping in the wrong church. When I was in that church, I really thought that I knew what the ministry was about. I thought I understood what we were doing, but I did not know that I was involved. Like, what I can say is a syndicate of pastors. These pastors, they work together. They try to get as much money as they can from the people that come to their church. My friends in the same ministry, they were rising faster than me. Their churches, because our church, it is like a franchise. You are under this big Nigerian church, even though the name of the churches, they might be different, but you all have a spiritual father that is in Nigeria. That is why it is famous these days to always have a spiritual father that is from Western Africa. It seems as if it is famous because those people, they know how to manipulate and how to fake miracles. And when I talk about fake miracles, people, why they get me wrong is that they think that a fake miracle, it is impossible in front of thousands of people. It is a fake miracle because the power that is being used, it is not the power of the Holy Spirit. I tried to pray harder and harder, but nothing was moving in my ministry. One night after a pastor's meeting, a colleague said something that really disturbed me deeply. He said, "Brother, prayer is good, but there are levels that you will never be able to understand without understanding where true power comes from." At first, I truly rebuked him, but the seed was planted. Over the months, 3 pastors, the men that I trusted a lot in our church, began pushing the same idea to me. They came to me and they mentioned what they always did to go to Nigeria and why they always had the same rings that they had. And they told me that they got these rings in Nigeria. So they said that Nigeria, it is a university for spiritual advancement. If you want to have a lot of followers in your church, you go there. They said that that is where my mental was going to be activated, because that is where prophets are made. If you can sit down and see, you will see that all the people that are famous prophets that we have here in our country, as well as other neighboring countries, one way or the other, they end up being in Nigeria. I tried to resist until I started to notice a pattern that each and every pastor or prophet that I knew has been to Nigeria, and their ministries, they exploded afterward. And I said, maybe there is a God, a different God there in Nigeria. Eventually, I agreed and I went there. We traveled and then we arrived in Lagos, and then we were taken to this nice, extremely wonderful mansion where there were other pastors that were there. And we were told to write our names, and our names were collected by a man that was so shocking. That man, I really do not know if he was old or if he was young. I really did not understand, because he seemed too young, like a boy, but at the same time, he spoke as if he was an old man, even the way that he walked. And then we would be taken to church. What shocked me about this prophet that I always saw on TV, the way that he preached, it was always about money. He had armed guards all over the place. We were told that we were going to meet this prophet. He's a big prophet that I can't tell you his name. And we were told to surrender our phones. It was as if we were at the State House in Nigeria, because there were armed guards everywhere that controlled our movements, where you wanted to be at what time. The first night, everything was normal, and we did not have our mobile phones by then. And you were also told to sign somewhere, and you are never supposed to mention his name. So the first nights, they were normal. We would be taken for teaching sessions, long prayers, fasting, discussions about revival. It was nothing that was alarming for a Christian. Then one night, we were woken up around 2 a.m. and we were told that it was now time for us to see the deeper truth. We were driven out of the city towards the river. And when we arrived there, it was like in a small village. We arrived at a coastal area. It was not crowded by the public, and there were men that were already waiting for us. These men, they were dressed in clothes that were white and blue, and the big prophet, he was there. He then said that he wanted to give us a new covenant. We should throw away the covenant of the New Testament. This is what he said. All of us, we were given small Bibles, those little small Bibles that only has the new covenant. We were given, and we were told that we were supposed to burn that new covenant, and he was going to give to us another covenant, which is called the covenant of influence. So once you have that covenant, it means that you can become famous. You can have a lot of followers following you. Even if you are caught performing a fake miracle, your followers, they will fight. They will kill for you. Even if you are taken to court, even if they find you guilty, those that follow you, they will say that our Papa is being tormented by the devil. They will pray. They will protest whilst you are in court, even for something that you did. What really scared me was the fact that in order for you to keep on resisting, what really shocked me was when they said that we were supposed to be initiated. We were then taken to a hotel after the whole marine rituals were done. I want to confess before the Lord that I was also involved in those rituals that involved us doing the marine rituals because I was scared for my life by then. Please do not get me wrong. I really did not even want to do it. I did not want to be there anymore, but I was amongst the people that I had seen doing evil rituals, and with all the bodyguards that were there, I was so scared because I was in another country far away from home, and I was even scared, the likes of Boko Haram. I just asked myself, what if I refuse to do these rituals like what they are telling us to do? Then they call Boko Haram on us, then what is going to happen? So I just followed whatever that was supposed to be done. I told myself that it had to be done, but I was not doing it with all of my heart. Then we were told that in order for you to maintain your spiritual powers that the marine spirits had given to you, you were supposed to rape a woman. Yes, if you notice that there is always a pattern, each and every famous prophet or pastor, one way or the other, they will always be involved in a scandal where they can be arrested, and then you will hear that such a pastor, he has been arrested because of what they did. They raped this certain woman, if you know what I mean. This always happens at all the times, and I learned it when we were in Nigeria. I'm sorry to say this, but I also had to do the same thing that everyone that was in that hotel room was doing. For a woman was brought before me, and I had to rape her, and I feel so bad because I don't know her name, but she was part of that church. Those girls that are always singing the praise and worship. She was one of that girl that had been taken from the church, and I was supposed to sleep with him. As for this girl, I understood that she was someone that had done this several times. She was not like a little girl. She was above 25, I think. So one thing that I noticed about all those women that we were involved with, they were all beautiful. So this is a cult whereby as a man, you have to sleep with a woman by force and using your influence. And when you sleep with him, in fact, raping her, this makes you close to the marine spirits. And it is very hard for other people to understand, but this is exactly what happens. And I don't know how exactly can I make you understand, but it really happens, my brother. And that is how we did those rituals. After the rituals were done, and then we were taken to another room where we were given some rings. I was given a ring that was the same as the rings that my other friends that had brought me to Nigeria were also wearing. So these rings that I was given, like I was told that this was the first step, and the men that I was with, they were given different rings. So each and every level that you are in, you will be given another ring, and it depends with what kind of sin that you would have committed when you are in Nigeria. Like in my case, I had to rape a woman so that I can become powerful. When we were at the airport, all these things I was doing them because I was scared. I even felt my spirit telling me that if I try to be clever with these people, they were going to kill me. This is true facts, my brother. I heard a voice that told me that if I tried to be clever, I was going to lose my life. So then we were taken to the airport. When we were at the airport, that was when I went to the bathroom. And when I was in the bathroom, I just took that ring that the Nigerian prophet had given to me. I took that ring and I flushed it down the toilet because I said, I do not need this occultic stuff. Yes, these people, they have made me to get involved in a lot of rituals. They have made me to sleep with a woman, and that woman, I felt sorry for him because this is the life that she lives, and I don't know what else that the prophet was doing to her, but I just told myself that there is no way that I'm going to bring this occultic stuff to my country. After I had flushed that ring in the toilet, I went back to where my other colleagues waiting for our flight. We returned back to South Africa and I blocked them and I stopped going to that church. I said, I can't be part of this church, for it is not a church really, it is just a business. And one thing that happens is that all the money that they get in that church, you know where it goes to? This money, it does not even benefit the communities in South Africa, but it goes straight to Nigeria. And the pastors as well, they are given a lot of money, millions and millions. They live a lavish lifestyle. They drive beautiful cars. But what I've discovered is that it is the same. Whenever these big pastors have a downfall, it is always rape. I don't want to mention names, but if you want to see, you can just Google it up. How many prophets end up being accused of rape? You know why? It is because when you are initiated by that prophet, he makes you to sleep with a woman by force so as to please the marine spirits. So the life that you live is that you will be a womanizer, sleeping with all of these women, taking their energy and feeding the energy of that woman to the marine kingdom. And when I returned back home, I then said that I do not want to be part of this church anymore. If I made mistakes, it's fine. I have already made mistakes, but I made a painful decision to never allow myself to be used so that I can initiate other South Africans. If I wanted to, by now, I could have become filthy rich, living a nice life. But this is where I am right now. I'm not poor because I inherited a few properties from my parents, and that is what sustains me to this very day. My heart just bleeds when I see all of these people going to these churches, chasing after these famous prophets who are wolves in sheep clothing. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our brother right there. We're saying that he can't mention the name of that church because the church has good lawyers. They are always looking for someone to bring down because they just want to feel good about themselves. Yet they are involved in this marine kingdom. Strange things they do happen in this world. If you are also a pastor and you did the same rituals and you want to expose these rituals that are done, you can also come to my inbox and then you can share with us your own side of the story. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. Then there is another message that I'm going to be sharing with you, and that message, it reads like this. How are you, Brother Nanshim? I have my own confession, and it goes on like this. I babysat for a wealthy Zimbabwean couple. I stole their jewelry, then I lost my mind. But what surprises me, even my parents, is that I woke up years later. I was in Cape Town. Please do not share my profile. If you want, you can go over my pictures that I have sent you. That is the other picture that I've just sent you. It is the picture that was taken of me when I was found by one of my relatives because they had been looking for me in a very long time. Can you see? It really does not make sense, really, because there I was, someone that was doing okay in life. Then all of a sudden, I lost my mind. But I lost my mind after I stole some jewelry for this wealthy Zimbabwean couple. They stay in Senton. Even if you want today, I can go with you and I can show you the house where they are staying, but from the outside, because they stay in a gated community. These people, they are the ones that bewitched me. I'm a South African woman. I am writing to you because I want people to know and also to help me, because there are 5 years of my life that I don't remember anything clearly. And the parts that I do remember, it feels like pieces from someone else's nightmare. It happened, it was in the year 2015. That is when my life stopped being normal. At the time, I was in my early 20s, living in Pretoria, unemployed, doing small jobs to survive, babysitting, cleaning, anything honest. I was not a criminal. I was not on drugs. I was a sane person. that matters to me, because people later said that I was always unstable. I was not. I got the babysitting job through a church friend. She told me that there was a Zimbabwean couple that needed someone trustworthy. They were wealthy, they were quiet, they were private, and they will pay me very well. Their maid had gone to their country for Christmas holiday. I went there, and the house was big in a gated community, and everything there was expensive. And they had one child who was a boy who had some problems. This boy who had autism, even though he was well behaved, but he was always quiet at all the times. I stayed there for 3 months. At first, everything was normal, but things started to change. This couple, even when they would be praying, they would go into this room, which they had told me to never enter into that room, even if I would find the door open. They also had another maid. This maid of theirs would always come and assist them with some household chores, and I was only responsible for looking after the baby. And then one day they went out, and I noticed that they had their bedroom door opened up, and then that was when temptation entered into my mind. I saw the jewelry. It was in this other big box, and then I took a look and I saw that there was gold, there was jewelry that was in there, and I stole 2 necklaces that I took, and I said, there is a lot. No one is even going to notice that there is something that has been stolen. So I then packed it into my handbag and I left. When I left their house, returning back to Pretoria from Seton, I was even nervous. I ended up selling the jewelry to a Nigerian man that I was introduced to by a friend. It was a quick cash transaction. In total, I got around 10K. That was the day that I felt something was stolen from me. That night, I could not sleep. When I tried to go to bed, there was always something that would wake me up. I really did not even understand what the hell was happening. When I would try to pray, I felt that there was someone that was with me in my room. And the last thing that I remember clearly was that I saw a man that beat me at the back of my head. He literally punched me. Then I fell to the ground. And then I woke up. And when I woke up, I did not know that I was now losing myself. And then I started walking out of the house, and I kept on walking. Like in my mind, I was seeing things that were not there. I was in a beautiful land where I could speak another language. There were white people that were everywhere, and I was also white, and I had a lot of slaves that I had. I did not even know that when I was seeing all of these things, they were not like happening. I was hallucinating. I always had slaves that were following me around, that carried me, that cooked for me. And when I say that these people, they were cooking for me, what I did not know was that they were not really cooking for me, but these were like my own imaginations. I was picking up food from the bins, but I just want to thank God that God protected me, because from 2015 through COVID, I was a mad woman. Only after COVID, that was when I started to see that I was running mad. I would feel hungry, and when I would want to go and pick up food from the bin, somehow I'll just feel bad about what I wanted to do, and I will stop myself from going to pick the food. Then I was discovered by a person that knew one of my relative, and they took a picture, sent that picture to the relative, and they kept following me, and they saw that I was living underneath the bridge. One day I was surprised to see my relatives. They came to me and they greeted me and they started crying. I asked them what was happening. Where was I? They told me that they had been looking for me since the year 2015. They just thought that maybe I started doing drugs, and they thought that maybe I had ran away because those people that I had worked for, they told my mom that I had stolen some jewelry, and they had reported the matter to the police. So the police even tried to look for me. But the funny thing that those people did was that they went to the same police station and then they withdrew the case. They said that they really did not want the case to proceed. And when I was discovered by my relatives that I was running mad, I also started to cry. For the first time in my life, I started to see that indeed I was someone that had been running mad for the longest time. Here I am, Brother Nashi. After so many years of running mad, I came back to my senses. I'm scared to touch anything that does not belong to me. When you post my story, please tell me. I will follow through in the comment section. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. Let us try to talk about this in the comment section. Then there is another message that I want to share with you, and the message it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nanshi, how are you? Please post my story as anon. I am a South African woman, and I have my confession that I want to share with you, and it goes on like this. I was once taken to Zim by my boyfriend. Hey, when I went there, my brother, this guy was such a liar. He destroyed my life completely. And why I have come here, I just need advice from your listeners. Should I try again? Because I am unable to find love amongst my own tribe. I am a Zulu-speaking woman, by the way. Should I give a third foreign guy another chance? And there is a man who is begging me to become his wife. And I think that I'm going to agree, but I need your advice. I dated a Nigerian man, and I had a child with that man. I have a son that I do have, and my husband, he passed away when he went to Nigeria. I think they bewitched him because he was unable to return back to South Africa, and he died. Yes, he died. I went there and I saw his grave, and I returned back home with my son. I then fell in love with a Zimbabwean guy who broke my heart into several pieces. I had been dating a South African guy by then, and I dumped him when I saw this guy. He was someone that had money. We then went to his country. He did not tell me the truth that in his church, he is allowed to have as many women as he wants. So when we went to his country, to his village, I was shocked to know that in the village where we were, it was not like a village of people that were not related to each other. This was their own village. His grandfather had 80 wives. What do you do with 80 wives? His father had 25 wives. And I was surprised. They have a lot of money because what they do is that as relatives, they get involved in the same business. Like they have a mine, and at the mine, the men, they work there. The women, they do chicken projects, like they are just rich. They have this big piece of land, but they don't sleep amongst each other. Like the men, they go and they take wives from the church. Like in my case, he had taken me from South Africa. He said that he wanted to paint his father's bloodline, if you know what I mean, because I am light-skinned and he's dark-skinned. So he said that he wanted to paint his father's bloodline so that there can be kids there that are also light-skinned. When I arrived there, I was shocked. The man already has 7 wives. Each and every wife drove a Toyota latest model Fortuner. The money is there. You can never complain. And I said, no, I can't do this. You never told me the truth. I just walked into this without realizing that you are a polygamist. I don't want that. And he begged me to stay. He has several houses here in South Africa. Even my mom was like, if he loves you, go to him. Then I said, no, I don't want. I dated another guy, a South African guy. I dumped him and I am now with another Zimbabwean guy. I'm scared. I don't know why I keep on loving foreigners. Please assist me. Which is better? To be with my current boyfriend or to return back to this polygamist? He has many kids, he has many wives, and we are still talking to each other. I feel like I'm cheating on my current boyfriend. Like I just can't let go of him, even though he broke my heart. But the man, he is a caregiver. The moment that we started dating, he asked me, what is it that I want to achieve in life? And I told him that I want my mom to have her own home, not in the location, but a home whereby it will be in the suburbs. And he was like, okay, it's fine. Let me see if I can sell any of my properties. Then we can take the money and then we can try to get a bond. So I have a house that is in my name, but that house, it was paid almost 3/4 of the initial amount cash by that same guy. But he is honest enough, each and every month on the 29th of each and every month, the money gets deposited into my account by his own accountant, who is a white guy. And I'm scared that if I stop talking to him, what if he will just stop giving me the money? Which one is better? To go to the polygamist or to stay focused with my current boyfriend? I know if you judge me, you judge me. That is what you think. But the first man that gave me a child, he was also a foreign guy. Maybe that is why I am addicted to these foreign guys. But I need advice. I've been hurt and I loved him with all of my heart. But the fact that he did not tell me the truth, that he has all of those wives, brother, he wanted me to wear those white garments. I refused. I said, no, I can't wear them because I am a Pentecostal woman. I can't do that. And if I agree, he said that we can stay in South Africa, but then you are also supposed to go to Zim even on your own to be with my relatives. Which one is better? A rich man who is a polygamist or this Zim guy? I don't want a South African husband. That is what I have decided. Yo, dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by our dear sister. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. So she was saying that she went to that family and she saw that it is an entire village. They all have many wives, and the grandfather, he was rich, and all of his grandchildren, they work together. If they start a bus company, they don't hire any workers. They drive their trucks, they fix their trucks, and they work at their own mine. Is it a good thing? What do you think? You can tell me what you think in the comment section.